Hi, I'm Adam Lupshaw, Director of Design for 0.0 Production.
And I'm Angelique Georges, the Design Assistant at 0.0 Productions.
And we're here today to talk to you about Wine to Water, CNN Heroes special presentation, which we had the privilege of working on under the direction of Rennick Soholt. Wonderful story of a great guy, Doc Henley, doing very important work around the world, bringing pure water to people that really needed it.
Our task for this program was to create a visual effects shoot to help emphasize the preciousness of water and illustrate it as a subject and give it character rather than just having it as something supplementary. We worked on a few different ways to bring this water to life.
I think a nod to the traditional way that Ken Burns style photo push-ins were shot originally with a film camera. We decided to take a camera and a little piece of dolly track and set these photographs up behind falling water and shoot them. One of the kind of off-kilter and unique and fun things about the way that we did this was that we decided to do a little physics. We'd seen some really incredible videos on YouTube of people using a subwoofer to vibrate a hose at 24 hertz. As the water is moving back and forth oscillating, the camera takes a frame every time it's oscillated to the same position. And what's unique about that is you get what appears to be floating water, water that's hanging in midair. This affords us the unique opportunity to do things, for example, like put somebody's hands in the water. We see the water dripping off naturally from their hands. At the same time, the water that's coming off of the subwoofer appears to be hanging in midair.
The way that we constructed this whole apparatus was a bucket above the subwoofer and several hoses coming from it, streaming down in front of the photo and where the camera's shooting. And then we would have a big water reservoir at the base of the shoot so that all the water is then caught, and then we would have to take turns in scooping the water out and putting it back up to the top reservoir many times. We did experiment with a few different diameters of hosing as well, and it ended up being that the thinner hoses were more effective, so it ran through a little bit slower.
So I had recently gotten a bee in my bonnet to play with a super hydrophobic nano material. This stuff from Rust-Oleum, Never Wet, is like a dream for shooting with. It creates such a zero tension surface. Water is forced to remain in a bead, almost completely spherical form. Now what happens next when you get the slow motion camera and the lighting right is that the water bounces, it becomes vibrant. Something else we'd like to discuss that was really fun was the use of jelly marbles. My first inclination was to find something that in water looked invisible, so would have the same refractive index as water.
They start off as a little tiny crystal, and then you leave them in water for a few hours and they become, I don't know, I guess like 5 times the size, 10 times the size.
Yeah, if not
even
more, and they're like 95% water. And you end up with this bouncy, clear ball.
And they completely disappear when they're in the water as well.
Yeah, so they're hard to find once they've gone into your 20-gallon tank of water. I'm now seamlessly joined by Naoko Saito, who's been a senior designer here for a very long time. So when we were initially talking, me and Rennick and the directors of photography, about ways to show the interior of one of these underground wells, one of the first things I thought of was being able to take the camera from one position and bring it down through the ground. So we decided on digging a little 1-foot hole into the ground and putting the camera on a time-lapse dolly.
The biggest challenge was to integrate the actual real footage from field with the graphic elements such as the soil, metal rod, water texture. It's all made from scratch.
You made that drill bit from scratch. You know, I noticed it basically matched the same drill bit that the Doc uses in the field to actually create these wells.
Yes. We made sure that it's as accurate as possible.
To sum up, this was a project with a lot of possibilities. We're happy to get any shot that we can think of that helps move the story forwards. We got to play with science, we got to play with water, and I think that we learned a lot along the way.
I think it was a great project, and it was great to be involved with it. And I think we had a really good result in the end as well.